What's up, everybody? My name's JD. I'm starting this channel because last March I got laid off. But it isn't what you think. I've been hearing a lot in the news about AI. AI is causing all these layoffs. But really, I don't think that's entirely the whole story. I think AI is a factor like it was cool to put .com at the end of your name during the bubble in the early .com days. And sure, AI is useful, but I think we're in the Alta Vista phase. As you can see here, this is a very early search engine in the very early days of the .com era, using the infamous Netscape browser. And sorry for all you younger kids out there, there was no such thing as 4K resolution, so that's why this actually was the high resolution screenshot of a web browser back in probably 1995, maybe 96. Oh no, it says October 1999, but still, that you didn't have a lot of change between 96 to 99. But anyway, I digress. Um, while AI is useful, and I use it a lot in my projects, it's still like you're talking to a child a lot of times and going back and forth, and you're not quite getting the answer that you want, and maybe you have to chide it a little bit. Um, but ultimately, while there are a lot of jobs that are being replaced by AI, largely it's mostly entry level and some low mid level skill sets that are being affected. But what it boils down to is AI still needs human input to interact. Yeah, it has to interact with a human, number one, and the output that you get oftentimes is not, depending on the type of AI you're using and how well it's trained and how much money was spent. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but generally, like this screen image here, we're in the Alta Vista period where search engines are just one step beyond what they used to call lists of lists, where, for example, Yahoo started out as a list of lists where everything was uh, basically a big index you go into and you click around and really wasn't very searchable. Adding the search bar was quite revolutionary. Didn't even have a type ahead. In fact, I think this version of Alta Vista, in fact, I don't even recall Alta Vista having a type ahead when you type in the search bar and it's trying to predict what you're typing. It was all very manual and very kludgy. Um, but anyway, I think some other things are happening that are really actually causing a lot of the layoffs. The first thing is I think that money is just too expensive to borrow right now. The interest rates are high, and there aren't a lot of businesses that have been operating um, during times when money's expensive. All those people are gone. Um, all the old CEOs and company founders that know how to operate in that environment, they're just gone. They're not around anymore. And frankly, lots of creative accounting practices going on, things of that nature. Um, but also another thing that I don't hear a lot in the news that I think is a massive factor is a change in the tax code that occurred in 2022. It was a law that was passed in 2017 in the IRS tax code. I think it's called Section 174. I believe I have an article here. Here we go. Yes, Section 174 of the US tax code basically states that before that, up to January 2022, you could completely expense or deduct all the salaries around your software engineers. And then the IRS code changed to where now you have to not only capitalize, you also have to amortize the salaries you're paying out over a 5-year period. So you can't pay these obnoxious salaries like you used to. You can't write off everything in one go and then just start all over next year. All this obnoxious spending, shoving everything under the supposed R&D umbrella. So yeah, that's all gone, and I think that's why a lot of companies were laying off, and AI just kind of became a convenient excuse because they were kind of going in that direction anyway, and it just made sense to make that the scapegoat. But honestly, um, I it's just it's money's just expensive too. I said that before, but the other aspect of it is that um, it's just more expensive to run your companies, and inflation and all that. It's just everything's just more expensive. So the salaries as a result of that, I think get shedding all of the expensive salaries, because I've been noticing when I've been applying for jobs that the salaries are getting um, lower, and they're smushing entry level jobs and some senior level positions into like this like mid-level range, which is the new entry level, at kind of like a upper entry level pay. So I think a lot of the salaries are they're normalizing um, to adjust to when everybody fled from all the tech centers, all the big tech cities, and everybody moved out and went to the outskirts. And I think that's also another gimmick they're doing is playing this game of like come back to the office, and if you don't, you're fired, and all this quiet quitting, all these things you're hearing everybody going back and forth. I think that's another issue. But I also think a lot of these companies are buying into the hype too much of AI. I think we're actually going into an AI bubble, like a dot-com bubble, and a lot of these companies are going to find out the hard way that it is very, very expensive to have an AI train it, the infrastructure, the computational power, um, just all the pipelines you have to do to push data around, the data engineering, um, just all the things that go into making an AI work. Even if you use like a pre-trained model, a lot of these companies are going to find that the bill, even though they're saving money on the salaries, the bill to run these AIs is going to kill them. So, the example I like to use for that is, or I think back in March of 2024, the CEO of OpenAI asked, or he said in an interview that we need to raise $1 trillion, $1 trillion to grow OpenAI, which I find interesting in the fact that I've never heard a number that large for a raise for a um, private company, but also just kind of speaks to the fact that OpenAI is chewing through a lot of money and losing a lot of money, and they probably are going to end up being the Alta Vista of the AI bubble, which will give way eventually to a Yahoo, which I think acquired Alta Vista, but even Yahoo got knocked down a couple pegs by, you guessed it, Google. Google's the juggernaut. So we just need to go through weeding out the early hyped companies. They'll burn out. They'll overspend. Um, Probably go bust on the stock market, um, and then go out of business. And then there's going to be a company that will come in and become the juggernaut, like Google. So what will be the Google in the AI revolution? No idea. How long that's going to take? No idea. But I am certain that we are in the Alta Vista phase of an AI bubble. But anyway, I hope you found this little video interesting. Um, I'm starting this channel to also document my journey, being laid off as a, principal software architect, and kind of taking all those skills, my experience being in startups, my entrepreneurial ventures over the years, and convert that into becoming a fractional CTO consultant type thing. So I'm going to start exploring some interesting topics, look at some computer science history, internet history, throw in some economics, play with some generative AI, maybe build some AI, um, and share that journey with you. So I hope you'll stick with me. And if you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and feed the algorithm. Bye.